everyone, this is FantasyEsque, and welcome back to the Sims 4 Vampire Amazon Royal Saga with the Salazar Coven. We are picking up today with our scholar Lady Meredith and the male that has been paired with her for her very first ever breeding, which I'm super excited about. Fingers crossed for a baby girl. Based on the babies we've had so far, I think our chances are pretty good. Or it might not be. We might have a boy, because we've had 3 babies so far. We've had like 2 boys and a girl. So maybe the next 2 pregnancies are going to result in boys. I don't know. But we might also have a girl. So we'll have to see. If we can double up on boys, surely we can double up on girls. But let's go through what we saw in the mini movie really quickly before we dive in to the episode or gameplay. Essentially, we began with Guinevere and Eden. So previously, all of the breeding decisions, seemingly it's, been under Eden's control, and she's the one who's been assigning partners and deciding who is going to be next in the breeding order. But recently we found out that her idea to even change the breeding order was instructed by Guinevere, essentially behind the scenes, which we didn't really get to see. And Guinevere's been pulling the strings and influencing Eden and manipulating her quite a lot as, the Shadow Queen almost. So now that, for us, that aspect of their relationship is out in the open, we actually saw Guinevere and Eden talking to each other about, Meredith's breeding. And Guinevere was being a lot more vocal. She was asking Eden, who do you plan on pairing her with? Basically tell me your ideas, because your ideas, need to get approved. She was acting almost as though the ideas need to get approved by her before Eden goes through with it, which, shouldn't be the case. So Eden was a bit unsure, but she proposed maybe one of their uncles. And then Guinevere brought up her note and her notebook, and actually looked through the list of uncles they had, and she said yes, but all 6 of them haven't been paired yet, haven't been matched, so they would be fine. They would be a good idea for Meredith. And so the queen then put up Frederick's name, and Guinevere was happy with that idea. So then Frederick was summoned to the castle, and he introduced himself like all the other males do as the son of Queen Wisteria Salazar, so son of a queen. So he introduced himself as that, and then Meredith was instructed to he was instructed to follow Meredith out so she could have a little bit of a chat with him and they could have some alone time essentially. So Meredith took him to the kitchens, which were empty, and they were talking to each other a little bit, and honestly, I feel like, is possibly the most innocent out of all of the vampires we have in the Coven. She wasn't exactly sure how to go about this. I feel like with Lagatha, being a bit... they're twins, but Lagatha has always had the more mature personality, and she is the more mature twin, she's the older one. She was, seductive. She knew how to get stuff done. There was really no kind of hanging back and being unsure about oneself. She knew how fine she was, and she went for it. Whereas with Meredith, yes, she's grown up being told that she is absolutely beautiful like her sister, but she's still a little bit unsure about how to go about all this. And I feel like Frederick might be in the same boat just a little bit, because he had a note that he made. He made some notes on how to go about this whole courtship thing with a vampires from the Coven during the breeding. And then he was like, well, I have notes. Why don't I take the lead? So then he kind of covered her eyes and, led her upstairs. And then they've been having some alone time. So he has initiated some of the romance between them. And now that he's given Meredith a bit more courage, maybe she'll be able to wrap it up. So let's take a look at Frederick before we kind of jump in. And Meredith is my second favorite vampires in the Coven, so I am just as excited about this breeding. Growing up, she was always my favorite. Meredith was my favorite, but I like Lagatha's current makeover more, which is why I adore her absolutely. But both the ladies are gorgeous. Obviously, they've got minor differences in their appearance, but like in their facial features, but they're both just so pretty. Now Frederick, he's got auburn hair, so like reddish orange, and he's got yellow eyes. So far we have had a mint-eyed baby, we've had a blue-eyed baby, a yellow-eyed princess, and this next baby is also going to be yellow-eyed, whether it's a boy or a girl, because I have realized that I've started keeping track of like the boys' eyes as well now. So yeah, boy or girl, they're going to have the, I mean, hair, we don't know. If it's a girl, she'll have auburn hair. If it's a boy, like we saw with was it Lord Ari? Like his father, was his father Jamie? I think his father was Jamie, and Jamie has brown hair, but Lord Ari popped out with like golden hair. So if it's a boy, their hair colors could mutate, but they'll definitely have yellow eyes. And if it's a girl, then she will have auburn hair, which I think would be nice, because we have a redhead like princess. And so this would be, I suppose, also a redhead, but not as intense as like the princess's red. She's got Ariel red hair, or she's going to when she's older. Another thing with Frederick, so even though he is a Salazar, so he's one of, you know, the queen's uncles, the previous queen's brother, the queen before that son, he doesn't have the title of prince. His being called, like most of his adult life, he has been called Lord Frederick, and that's because up until like this generation, the princes haven't been given the name or the title of prince. They haven't been recognized as princes before this particular generation. So like the queen now, she is making it so that her sons are born with the title of prince, whereas previously this wasn't the case at all. I mean, initially the males, they weren't recognized in any way, shape, or form. But when they used to just kind of be born and join the army. And then 2 generations ago, with Queen Wisteria, she kind of started changing things for the males a little bit by making this rule where the oldest royal brother gets to be the lord of Willow Creek. So the title of Lord was introduced to the royal brothers, but only the oldest royal brother. So I think Art started it, and Art, if I'm not mistaken, was Wisteria's twin. So there was that. I think he was Wisteria's twin. No, he wasn't. Sorry, I got this wrong. Art was one of the other ladies' twins. I think he was Isadora's twin. I don't remember. It's a little bit confusing. All of these vampires, it's a little bit confusing. But anyways, he was her oldest brother. And so he became the first Lord of Willow Creek. And then Aphrodite's oldest brother, Frederick, after him, like when Art died, Frederick got the title of Lord. So he's from the line of Willow Creek lords, even though he is a royal brother and a royal uncle and a royal son, I suppose. But yes, he's never been recognized. He's always had more prestige than the other males, but like now that's shifting. He still has his prestige, but the line of Willow Creek lords is going to end with him, because now the royal-born sons are being called princes. So they have like even more prestige than before. So most likely going forward, the role of Willow Creek ambassador is kind of going to melt away into nothingness. Frederick is going to be the second and last Lord of Willow Creek, and then we'll just have our princes. And obviously the sons of the noble ladies are going to be recognized as lords. So that's kind of a little bit of the history as to why he's not called a prince and he's called a lord. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at him. I swear, if they have a girl, I mean, I would be excited. I would be, because it's Meredith. Like, it would be Meredith's baby. But, yellow eyes. We have one yellow-eyed princess. I would like some different colored eyes. But, hey, we'll see. We'll see what happens with these two. Okay, let us dive straight into it. Now, Frederick is, like I said, the queen's, so Guinevere and Eden's uncle. And the reason why, one of the reasons at least, that Guinevere is approving of this match is that if I think for Guinevere, I mean, obviously, she's looked down on the Dravagers for a long time growing up. And, like, she's considered them impures. And she's called them impures all the time. And kind of been really mean to them in that way. And so I feel as though matching the Dravagers, like the Dravage ladies, with one of the Salazar brothers is kind of her way of purifying their line a bit more with the Salazar males. And then also, I feel like for Guinevere, if their children, like if the Dravage children or ladies in the Coven, right, that are not, well, Guinevere or Eden, if their children are the children of Guinevere and Eden's uncles, they're like the males in their family, then the kids will be tied to them through blood, and there'll be one way to ensure their loyalty, which I feel like is an interesting thing from her point of view, because obviously she doesn't want the kids to be too much on like a foreign bloodline's side. I mean, even though the Dravagers can stem from them, the more their bloodline kind of forks down the road, I feel like the more distant they're becoming from the actual Salazars themselves, and Guinevere wants to correct that. So that is one of the reasons why she would be approving of, or another reason she would be approving of Meredith and Frederick. So, okay, Meredith, let's get a little bit of courage and stop being slightly more romantic. And as always, I hope that their child, whether it's a boy or a girl, gets Meredith's big bug eyes, because I just find the Dravage sisters like so pretty. So pretty. Attempt to get respectfully closer. That is so cute. That is so cute. Because Meredith is a proper sim as well. So actually it feels kind of interesting that she is a proper kind of vampire. And she got paired with Frederick, Lord, who, you know, wears this like very proper hat and such. Okay. There we go. Let's try and whisper sweet nothings with these two. Thankfully no one's interrupting them, which I'm glad for. And actually, Meredith doesn't have any romantic, like she doesn't have any romantic involvement with members within the Coven, I think. So she's actually, you know, yes, truly innocent. She's got no romantic drama going on with anyone. Like, none. Everyone else is involved in something, or they're watching something. Attempt to swoon. I feel like with Guinevere, she's not involved in any romantic drama, but she's causing all this other drama with everyone else, and she's watching. Elaine's kind of watching from a distance as well. Whereas Meredith, she had a little bit of a flirtation with Luciano, I think, but like nothing came of that. He visited once when he came, and she had a little bit of flirtation with, you know, our evil Luciano, and he was actually being nice to her as well. But nothing came of that. I think she found him dashing, and that's probably about it. Okay, here we go. Let's dive into this first kiss. Okay. Come on, Meredith. Look at how sweet she looks. She's just so sweet. So sweet. Now, Frederick, he has like a little bit of the, like an appearance of Wisteria. I mean, he is Wisteria's eldest son. Not too much, but he has like the slight appearance. I feel like maybe like the lower half of his face, just a little bit. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I mean, he has a straight face now, so we can take like a better look at him. But he reminds me just a teeny bit of Wisteria. Not too much though. Not too much. But I'm excited to see how their features will blend. And you know what? Because I feel like it is fun to look through the family trees of these Sims, let's take a look at his family tree to kind of see where is that. So his father Ah, okay. His father was Antonio Knox. Ah. His father was Antonio Knox, and his grandmother was Lady Swan Knox. So he is actually a blend of the Knox and the Salazar bloodlines. Guys! I know a bunch of you were like so sad in the previous generation when Yuki Noxa died without an heir, and the Noxa line kind of died with them. And then some of you were saying, breed, because she had a twin brother, Duncan, you were saying breed Duncan with, like, you know, one of the females, and then the bloodline will kind of blend into the Salazars, or they'll live on. But unfortunately, he died as well before he could breed with anyone while he was serving in, I think, Brindleton Bay. So we kind of lost out on that chance. But guys, and I completely forgot about this, Frederick is actually part of, or he's, you know, descended from the Noxal line as well through his father Antonio. So it won't show here, probably. Yeah, it won't really show here. But, hold on, so Swan Knox, she had Nymphadora, and she had Antonio as well. Now, I feel like she had another son, but I might be wrong. Maybe these are the only... Maybe she didn't. Maybe she didn't have another son. Huh. Anyways, so, yeah, I forgot about this completely. But Nymphadora, she had 2 children, Nymphadora and Antonio, obviously follow mainly through the female bloodlines. So Nymphadora had Oriana had Yuki and Duncan. Duncan died while serving in Brindleton Bay. Yuki never even got a chance to breed because we were so successful with the females in the previous generation. We filled up our slots before she even, we got to her part in the breeding order, or her turn. So even though that side of the bloodline has died off, Antonio had a son, Frederick. And now Frederick is breeding with Meredith. So, guys, that means Meredith's child is going to be a connection to the Noxal bloodline, and that's going to live on in them. How cool is that? Oh, this is why I love the family trees. You discover so many interesting things when you're in here. So many interesting things. Oh, that's so cool. That is so, so cool. Well, well, well. Now, Wisteria, I don't think it shows who Wisteria's father is. That's another thing. There's so many connections that we've actually lost. So many connections we've lost because as I said before, delete the males. I mean, sometimes they remain in the game, like if they die out of nowhere, then I don't have time to delete them, and I don't mind keeping the ghosts around. But yeah, in cases where that doesn't happen, I delete the male, so then their part of the family tree gets destroyed, which is unfortunate. So Lord Art over here, he was Frederick's uncle, I'm pretty sure, and he was the father of Duncan and Yuki. So interesting the way these family trees run. Well, guys, there we go. I hope even more people are on Frederick's side, because Frederick is a descendant of the Noxal line as well, or the Nox line. So the Noxal line obviously happened with Oriana and Lord Art and their children. So Frederick, he is from the Nox line before it became the Noxal line. So I suppose you could say he's a purer Nox than Yuki and her brother were. So, that's so cool. Frederick, I'm so much more excited for you now. So much more excited for you. Okay, Meredith, let's get this going. Let's try for a baby with Lord Frederick in the coffin, no less. Okay, here we go. I'm so much more excited for these two now that I have learned of his genetic secrets, his genealogy, I should say. Frederick, that is amazing. That is too cool. Too cool. I swear, with a lot of these cross-generational pairings, like, I forget sometimes, especially because we have such a rich history, I forget where they're from or which bloodlines they descend from. And then just like that, you discover, like, a hidden pocket of a family tree that you didn't kind of see before. I saw previously that Antonio Knox, like in one of the other breedings, I kind of saw Antonio Knox there, but I didn't connect it. I don't think I clicked on Antonio Knox, so I didn't have that expand to the rest of the Knox line. But that was so cool to see. That was so cool to see. Oh, look at her. She's so happy. Oh, Meredith. Oh, Meredith. I imagine they were conversing with each other, and maybe, you know, just like we discovered his family history, maybe she discovered his genealogy as well. And that made her even more excited because the previous scholar was a Noxa. So even though, you know, the previous line died out, if you could have the Noxa, the Nox blood, being combined or being bred into the Dravage blood, then it's like the Noxars are going to live on in Meredith's daughter in the next generation. So the Noxars, you know, in that sense, get to keep the scholar role, which is so, so cool. But okay, come here. Let's take a test and see if you have good news for us, Meredith. Let's see, do you have good news for us? Come on, let's go. Let's go check things out. Come on, Meredith. Yes, I know, it's a big thing, it's a big deal. Let's go check things out. Let's go see. Do we have good news? Oh, that'd be so great. It'd be so nice if this was a girl. Yes, she's eating for two. It'd be so nice if this was a girl. Because that is literally the only descendant of a Nox that we have left. It's Frederick. And if this is not a girl, then the Noxa bloodline. Well, I mean, I suppose even if it's a boy, like he could be bred in at a later stage. They would have a rich history. But, oh, that is so cool. So, so cool. Okay, Frederick, you have done very, very well. And now I think we will let you go back to the Willow Creek Embassy so that you can continue taking care of your duties over there. And we'll catch up with the rest of the ladies. And actually, before we go, I had something else. Now, one of you lovelies made a really good point in one of your comments that I wanted to talk about. Okay, so, let's see. So, Miss Kizoni, and I don't know if I'm saying it right, but one of you lovelies named Miss Kizoni commented on, I think, the episode where Eden had her first breeding with Myron, and you made a really, really cool point that I loved, and you were saying that it's actually a smart idea for Eden to be breeding, and, you know, consequently these ladies to be breeding with males born in the Empire instead of the visitants. Because if you think about it, these guys just wrapped up, like in the previous generation, a war with the visitants. If they were to suddenly start having children with the visitants, do you really think those children would be well received by the public, by the, like, common folk of the queendom? Because as far as they're concerned, the visitants, you know, only recently have caused them harm. So they're kind of the bad guys. Yes, we might have smoothed things over diplomatically by giving them the House of Lords and such, and incorporating them into, you know, the society, but even then, it's going to take people some time to get used to the visitants and learn to trust them again. Right now, they wouldn't. So if suddenly there's a princess that is, you know, the daughter of a visitant, do you think people would be comfortable having what they would consider a foreign princess on the throne? Not someone who's truly of the Empire, born in the Empire, with the blood of the Empire? So I thought that was really cool. And then while I was thinking of Miss Kazoni's comment, it did kind of hit me that actually, yes, if these children were born, especially to soldiers that served in the Salazar army, then because the soldiers fought the visitants, I feel like their children would be more beloved and have more prestige because, as well as their mothers being, you know, royals and nobles in court, their fathers were soldiers who defended the kingdom, defended the queendom and the empire against their visitants. So they would kind of have that badge of honor as well for having a, like, one of the, whether it's the Salazar boys or the Ranarains, anyone who is in the army, having a soldier from the army, the Salazar army, who defended them against the visitants, being their father, I feel like would give the daughters born from these pairings a lot more prestige, and they would be more welcomed by the Salazar society. So there we go. I wanted to mention that because I just thought that was such a cool thing that I didn't even think about, went completely over my head. And then Miss Kazoni mentioned it, and I was like, whoa, I like the way your brain thinks. Because, yeah, it is actually a smart choice in that regard. And who knows, maybe that's kind of what Guinevere was thinking of when she was, you know, guiding Eden to make certain pairings or proving certain pairings. Maybe it was kind of for these reasons. You need to strengthen morale of the people after, you know, such a huge war. And so you need to start matching either honored soldiers with the ladies, you know, males born in the empire, vampires born in the empire. You need to prioritize them for the breeding order. And also, if it's ancient and beloved bloodlines, like, for example, the Ranarains, you know, breeding them. I feel like Kyra would be very much loved by the people, Princess Kyra, because she's descended from a beloved ancient bloodline, the last ancient bloodline to ever exist, the Ranarains, and then obviously, you know, tied in with the Salazars, who have always been loved, by the vampires at least. So she would have a lot of prestige growing up, a lot of history, a lot to be proud of. So, okay, let me move Frederick out, and then we'll jump back in to see how everyone's doing. We are back with the ladies. Xiomara is trying to get some peace of mind here at the temple, the goddess temple, but she wants to chat with Azura, so I'm thinking we're gonna summon over the Magical Research Society, and then we can go ahead and have her spend some time with Azura and see what these two get up to. I wonder why she wants to talk to Azura. Wonder why. It might just be regarding training, which makes sense. So we'll get these guys to slowly trickle in. And then I suppose, you know what, I think it's probably training. But then Serana would be the one. She would probably want to train more so. Who knows? Who knows? She probably wants to spend time with both Serana and Azura. And to be honest, she's not that close with Azura. So as the physician, that's something she has to keep an eye on. She's got a bit of a responsibility to, you know, prepare the next generation of spellcasters who are going to be serving in this role. So she should probably give equal attention to Azura and Serana. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about potion mishaps, because this is probably very important. So come on down, Xiomara. I mean, it's good that she's focusing on more of her role than just the craziness romantically that's been going on with the what did we say it was? A pentagon? A love pentagon? Okay, let's see. Let's discuss overcharge risks. And just chat. Maybe we gossip about ancient vampires. Go do that. There we go. So that's nice. You know what? Why don't you spend some time maybe offering some magical training? Because I feel like you should spend time with both Serana and Azura. Don't just give Serana all the attention and then leave Azura behind. That wouldn't be too nice. So okay, she is gonna offer Azura some training. There we go. She's like, okay, I'm not gonna watch, I'm just gonna instruct you so that you don't feel shy, and just go through with this. Try these motions, try these spells, see how you're able to channel your energies. There we go, that's nice. Okay, we've got that underway. Now, Eden, however, she has something else on her mind entirely. Because she has this whim, or this want, I should say, to make out with Xiomara. So let's, you know what, she needs to take a shower because she has been like skating out here throughout the night, and this is probably getting her athletic skill up quite a bit, but she's starting to smell. So let's go have a nice shower, let's freshen up, and then you can attack Xiomara with all your attention. Now, I am curious as to when, where, if, how Xiomara and Eden are going to break up. Like, I'm wondering what it's going to take for them to break up, because I don't feel like this is sustainable for either of them. I feel like when one sim kind of cools off and is focusing on something else, the other one gets really attached. But it's like misplaced attachment, which, you know, it's not good. But the queen's making do for now. I feel like it helps that Lagatha is not, like, Lagatha and Catherine. I feel like it helps both of them that Lagatha and Catherine are not at the castle right now. At the same time especially. It just makes things a lot less complicated for them. Wouldn't Xiomara, though, be upset seeing her uncle? Like, where is her cousin uncle even? He's up. No, this is not the right one. Not the right one. Where is the other cousin uncle? I feel like he should be somewhere here. I don't see him. Where is Edgar? Where did he go? Oh, he's in the dining room. I feel like she'd kind of be upset seeing him, which is probably why he's over here and she's like over there. I suppose that makes sense. Queenie, are you done? Queen is almost done. Okay, let's go find Xiomara. Although she is busy with the training right now. But you know, if the queen interrupts you, I feel like you would stop your training. Right? Surely. Okay. Meredith, did you... Okay, the group has already been disbanded. The one she had with Frederick. Because, you know, I like to put them in a group just to make things easier. But, oh yeah, I didn't show this on camera because I cut out before I got to it. But I did remember to set an event, so don't worry about that. So she should be going into labor on Friday at 12 a.m. So I have set the party for then. So hopefully, you know, when that comes around, we'll all be prepared. But now we know exactly when she's going to be having this kid. So right over then. And it seems as though it's going to be a very, very stormy a time for us when she has this baby. I wonder if that's an omen for something. I hope only good things. I hope only good things. Okay. Xiomara and Queenie. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them both here or not. But sure as heck I'm going to try. Let's come this way. Xiomara, come this way as well. Oh, there we go. They're already kind of gravitating towards each other. Excellent. Excellent. Xiomara, take a break. Take a break. With the queen. Sit down. Are you too nervous to sit? There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see, Queenie. Let's see. Where is my option? Right over there. Right over there. Just look at her. Do you guys think these two look comfortable with one another? I really don't see it. I don't see it, and I don't feel it. It feels too forced between these two. It feels too forced. Like there is no love or there's no passion. There's nothing there. Nothing at all, I feel. It doesn't make me coo in happiness that they're together. It really doesn't. Okay, everyone's going about their own thing. We'll catch up a little bit later to see if there's anything else exciting going on. Meredith's chatting with Guinevere right now. Guinevere's probably really happy because, you know, she approved of this match and everything. But I'll catch up with you guys at a later point. Oh my goodness, what have we just dived into? Seems as though this date with Eden and Xiomara isn't exactly going to plan. So, the Queen really wanted to spend some time with Xiomara, so she decided to bring Xiomara out on a date. And recently the Queen has, in her wonderful sister's honor, in Guinevere's honor, had this marketplace built called Guinevere Market. And none of the other vampiresses have been here just yet, and the Queen came to kind of scout out the space, and she thought it would be a fun idea to bring Xiomara with her so that they could take a look at basically this newly built area of the capital. And the Queen thought it would be a nice idea to strengthen their relationship just a little bit more, but unfortunately it does not seem as though things are going to plan, especially Xiomara. Like, Xiomara is not having it. I don't know what the problem is, but she is very, very upset, and she's lashing out at the Queen, and I really don't know why that is. But before we dive into that, let me just show you guys really quickly Guinevere Market. So this is it. It is, I feel like, quite quaint and spacious and nice. I thought it would be fun to like have all of this space during the nighttime for the vampires, you know, to be able to walk around, sit around in. And there's even like a little bit of a horseshoe activity here for them. They could even fish. We have this adorable area for like any, you know, animals in the market that show up here, which I don't think can be the case, but still it's like a cool concept we have going on there. We could even say like maybe this is where, you know, all the ducks and stuff, they stay when they're not in the pond, which is really, really cool. And then we have this adorable bridge with a covered area for our chess. Thank goodness, in the daytime the vampiresses can play chess over here without worrying about the sun. And then we have the indoor part of the market. So if you go inside, it looks pretty cool to me. It's like this long kind of warehouse almost, like a longhouse going on here. And then we've got all these little sections of it where, you know, our Sims could sit and read, or, you know, we've got some dyes over here that some people are selling. Like, this is where all the common folk, maybe even some of the other vampires you might see, but the common folk come here to sell their wares. So I've got stuff here, I've got a little place for our ladies to sit down, even more things that are being sold. We've got stalls for like food and all sorts of things. A bunch of these stalls are closed right now, and that's because the Queen hasn't put the marketplace like into effect. She hasn't launched the marketplace properly. This is currently recognized as a community space, but we want to change it to a marketplace, and then we'll say the Queen's officially opened the market up. But right now it's kind of just in the like preliminary stages. I swear that word sometimes gets me. But what is going on with Xiomara and Eden? We were just talking about what it's going to take for them to destroy their relationship altogether, and oh my goodness, they have a rift going on over here. What do you guys think caused this? Because for the longest time, they have been kind of making do with their relationship, but it seems as though this trip is all it took, this alone time, this date is all it took for things to suddenly be destroyed between them, and I don't think they've been on a date together before. Xiomara has been on a date with Catherine after she and Eden got together, which, you know, wasn't classed as a date. It was kind of like we're just meeting to talk, which, you know, is an understatement. But this is the first time the Queen has thought to take Xiomara out somewhere, and Xiomara, for whatever reason, was really miserable, wasn't happy. You know what I think? I think maybe them being, can we get these two to sit down together here? But I think maybe Xiomara and Eden going on like a date together made Xiomara realize that it is so different to when she's with Catherine, and that just made her really, really upset. So she got snappy at the Queen, and then the Queen lashed out at her as well, because the Queen couldn't understand why Xiomara is taking them for granted. Just because the Queen is sweet on her right now, she really shouldn't be talking to her that way. And I find it slightly hilarious that this is all happening at Guinevere Market. Literally the place that the Queen has dedicated to Guinevere, who has caused all this mess in the first place. And yeah, so I'm not doing any of this. They're just autonomously interacting. In fact, the only thing I tried to do was get the Queen to flirt with Xiomara when we came here, because it's one of the date kind of goals. But that's it. That's all I was doing. And then they started arguing with each other, and then we jumped in, and I was showing you guys around the place, and she's not happy. But anyways, I will put the creator of this lot in the description below, so if you want to download it for your own game, feel free to do so and enjoy it, because that is a really adorable spot. But yeah, this literally is all it took. So their relationship is being destroyed at the place dedicated to Guinevere, the champion and Queen's sister. And Guinevere is the one who caused this love pentagon in the first place. I just find that so interesting and funny. So let me know what you guys think happened between the two of these guys, but I feel as though that must have been it. Like, actually going on an official outing with the Queen just made Xiomara realize that she's not Catherine and she's not happy. Like, in that meeting that she had with Catherine, I feel like she was trying to be flirtatious and anonymous, and the Queen was feeling quite just out of sorts. Like, before they came, Xiomara invited the blood givers, everyone had a drink. The Queen just felt gross afterwards, because she's never liked drinking from the blood givers. She's never enjoyed that at all. Even the plasma flowers, all those kind of things in the past, she's never enjoyed that. She grew up with potions. She loves potions. She feels like it's clean. It's a lot less savage, and that's kind of what she's been comfortable with. But ever since she became Queen, Guinevere has been quite adamant that Eden has to be in touch with the primal self, and Eden has to reconnect with the Salazar ways, and she has to kind of show everyone that she's a true queen, and she has to drink from the plasma flowers. And so every time Eden does that, she's struggling, because she doesn't enjoy it at all. She doesn't like it at all. It makes her feel terrible, just physically, and terrible, about herself. But it's a necessary thing as far as she's concerned, especially because Guinevere is telling her that it is necessary, and she trusts Guinevere a lot. So she was, as well as spending time with Xiomara, trying to lift her own spirits. But this has not gone to plan at all. At all. Like, her relationship with Xiomara has just gone down in the dumps. Entirely. Like, look at this. They were in the green, I'm pretty sure. Now they're in the red. They've got all this emotional baggage now. They still haven't officially broken each other. Like, they haven't broken up with each other, but now they do have a personal rift. So both of them are kind of hurt by each other's behavior. And, yeah. I feel like it is Xiomara's fault. It is Xiomara's fault. But I think when... because she started yelling at the Queen in the first place. She started it. And then she was being snappy first. And then when Eden kind of lashed out at her in retaliation, saying that, well, I'm the Queen, you should be grateful that I've dedicated so much time to you instead of throwing a tantrum and showing me attitude, I don't think Xiomara appreciated that. And she was upset that the Queen was treating this whole date as if she owed the Queen something. So that's probably why she's hurt. But the Queen's hurt because she doesn't understand why Xiomara is acting this way. And Xiomara just made her feel worse about herself when she was already feeling terrible from drinking blood off the blood givers. So, okay, guys. Oh my goodness. Well, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. These two are miserable, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.